Well, welcome bloggers, and thank you for joining us tonight, and good evening. We are coming to you live. We are tasting live, and my name is Nick Solga. I'm sommelier here with Taste Live, and we have a special treat. Tonight we're going to be taking a trip a little over 5,000 miles south, depending where you're at, to the country of Chile, and we're going to be tasting the wines of Gran Reserva Serie Riberas. And if you haven't heard of these wines before, it's probably normal because they're new within the past year to the United States, and that term Serie Riberas means riverbank series. Essentially, these are all estate wines that are grown in single vineyard in proximity to one of Chile's major rivers. And as we taste through, we're going to be taking a little trip by the glass. I'm joined here with two gentlemen who have come a very, very long way. I'd like to welcome them. We have winemaker Marcio Ramírez of the wines you have in front of us. Welcome, Marcio.
Welcome.
And we have Italo Joffre from Concha y Toro, a wine ambassador. Concha y Toro is the parent winery making the wines we have with us tonight. And by now, hopefully, you have opened up your kits, laid out your tasting map. We're going to be tasting the Sauvignon Blanc first and ending with the Cabernet. So as we taste through, feel free to throw us questions and ask, and we'll have the winemaker and Italo will talk directly to us. And so with that said, I'd like to have Italo perhaps tell us a little bit about Concha y Toro. I know I mentioned that, but I know Concha y Toro has a lot of history, and because of their prominence in Chile, they have access to many of these estate vineyards like the ones that we have in front of us here. Could you tell us a little bit more about the history and some of Concha y Toro's strengths?
Absolutely. Thank you, Nick, and welcome everybody. Concha y Toro, we have almost 130 years of history. We're one of the oldest wineries in Chile and from South America. We have properties and vineyards in Chile, Argentina, but also in California.
Oh, wow. Well, that's it's a bit of a new event for us here, I understand, right?
In the last year, we've acquired Fetzer.
And as a wine ambassador with Concha y Toro, what do you do? You go around and you help out. We have fun events. I know drinking wine for a living can be a tough thing, but
it's tough.
It's tough. Well, thank you for being here and straining yourself tonight. Marcio, I'd like to welcome you. You're a winemaker. I think that's something our bloggers are passionate about. Plenty of them either make wine or dream about it. How did you get into winemaking? Why are you so passionate about wine?
But I'm very passion for the winemaking. I started in Concha y Toro for 97. I'm a winemaker assistant for Don Melchor. In 2001, go to the Peumo. It's a very special location for Cabernet for Concha y Toro. The best Cabernet of Concha y Toro is in Peumo. It's a very interesting, but it's a very special variety. It's a very interesting, but the winemaker is a very difficult work, but you working with the weather. But all the year is different, but this is very interesting.
So it's easy to say that being a winemaker isn't something that's structured. Every day is different.
Yeah.
We already have our first one of our first comments here, at least first one since we started up. Art Predator was saying, "Yay, we're ready to roll. We got some wines." So we're not the only ones excited about this here. Let me tell you guys a little bit about how it's going to work. Many of you bloggers, being blogger panelists, already know this, but we've sent out wines to the bloggers and to the writers and the panelists, and what they're going to do is they're going to taste through, they're going to ask questions, and then I'm going to pose them to you, and we'll just answer them directly into the camera as if we're in their home in that little box they're looking through. We actually have one more question here. Actually, no, we don't. Okay, so now that we know how it works, we can go ahead and move forward, and I think what we're going to do is I'd like you to tell me a little bit about Gran Reserva. Now, these, as I mentioned, are single vineyard wines, estate wines, and they are in close proximity to a river. And now, I know the river will influence the climate a little bit, and each of them have their own unique soils. It creates almost a unique personality in the glass, if you will. Could you tell us a little more about what makes Gran Reserva so special? And perhaps maybe you can start off by pronouncing it the Spanish way for us all.
Yeah, Serie Riberas.
Sounds so much better. So what makes them so unique, these wines?
This project born in 10 years ago. It's a new project for Concha y Toro, but born 10 years.
Wow.
But I need the location for the new vineyards. It's no vineyards in this location. It's a new area, but it's special for the weather is more fresh. All the river, but not the river, but the river bank is a virtual corridor.
Okay.
To move the fresh wind of the Ocean Pacific into the vineyards, into the vineyard inside the country.
Okay.
But
So essentially, it influences the weather there, but
Yeah.
it's the cool area. So these vineyards, they're on river banks. But I think here in the United States, we think riverbank. A riverbank could be huge. It could be small. Some of these are 600 feet in the air above a gorge. Other ones are a little bit further away. But it's not so much the riverbank. It's that snow melt and that cool breeze and the Pacific influence. Correct?
Yeah, but the coastal range is a wall for the wind. It go to inside the country. But the riverbank is a hole. It permit with the wind go to the vineyard inside. The effect is more huge when more close to the sea or more close to the mountain. You go move inside the country, the effect is less. Es mucho menor el efecto.
So that's basically the river becomes like an air conditioning for the grapes and for the vineyard. And there's cold wind from the Andes going through the rivers down, or the cold wind from the Pacific going inland.
That makes
So it's like air conditioning all the time.
And so when you said this is a new project that started a little over 10 years ago, these are single vineyards. We had a comment, Sonadora said that, yay, these are all single vineyard wines. I mean, it's interesting because when you get single vineyard wines, like she mentions, they have their own personality profile. They have that ability. So how many years does it normally take, though, from the point that you plant a vine until it actually makes some fruit that we can make wine out of?
The fruit or the grape for wine is possible to 4 or 5 years. But for the quality, for the Gran Reserva wine, it's necessary 10 years, 11 years, depending on the variety.
Wow. So again, a little something new, a little something fresh. We're glad to share that with you tonight. I think Ichilo, maybe you could tell us, I think this is a good idea because as we have single vineyards, they are in proximity north to south. Chile is a vast country, almost as long as the United States is wide.
Actually, Nick, it's 3,000 miles long, but only average, it's 93 miles.
So you almost have
wide.
this like long
It's
vanilla
very
bean
thin,
shaped country almost, right?
It's like a stick.
And these rivers kind of crisscross the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the rivers in Chile run from the Andes, from east to west, to the
Okay.
Pacific. Depending on where you are, it could take 24 hours to get to the ocean, the snow melting from the Andes, or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So in a sense, what it does is it creates little microclimates.
Microclimates.
That's what makes these wines what they are today. I know we haven't moved on to the Sauvignon Blanc yet, but I can see people already talking. Sonadora and some other people are mentioning that they're noticing some grassy notes in this Sauvignon Blanc. Everyone, we're getting ready to do that. We're going to do that in just a moment, as a matter of fact. But now that we know a little bit about the who, the what, the when, the where, behind these wines, I think it's time for us to take that trip that I mentioned to you. We're going to head south, by the glass. It's the best we can do for today, to Chile, and we're going to taste the wines of Gran Reserva Serie Riberas. I'm Nick Solga with Taste Live, Italo Joffrey, and Marcio Ramírez. Gentlemen, salud. Let's take a
Salud.
trip.
Salud. Salud.